Hello everyone! Okay,
Be more enthusiastic. This is the evening show where, we are going to be drinking and encouraging drinking. Hello, everyone. That's much better.
Fantastic. Welcome to the Astroholic. So, what is the Astroholic? It's a place where we can drink and talk about science.
Exactly. We thought, hey, we're science nerds. We love talking about science. And who doesn't love a cocktail? So why not combine the both? And now you've paid money to be here.
But you also gonna have a chance to win a cocktail later. Ooh. And it's gonna be one of my experimental cocktails. Oh!
You're going to be making a lot more enthusiastic noise later if you want to win said cocktail.
Is this the one that you said earlier actually tastes nice, or the other one that's just really strong?
Is the one that actually tastes nice.
Okay.
So the first one is going to be really strong, is going to be for us. I'll explain everything in a minute. But okay, so who am I? I'm Alfredo. I'm an astronomer, I'm a journalist, social activist, and the Astroholic is my baby. And
I am Alf's co-host. My name is Matt. You can barely see the picture of me. Good lord. Okay.
I'm going to move them. Dramatic sci-fi music.
Yeah, giving us real interstellar vibes there. Anyway, after that nice introduction, my name is Matt. I'm a neuroscientist. I'm a nerdy science performer and a producer. And as I've said, we've already said, I'm the co-host of the Astroholic. So today we have two very special guests with us. First off, we have the wonderful Cerys.
Hello, I'm Cerys. I am a PhD student at UCL studying the dark web. I'm qualified for this show because I have a C grade in GCSE astronomy, so mostly let down by the practical element of the GCSE astronomy classification, where you had to build your own sundial. I still have mine. It's about 45 minutes out, which is better than 45 degrees out, I think. I'm also a science comedian, and I run this wonderful podcast, which
I'm just not staying here.
Yeah.
it's called The Coming Out Tapes, which is an audio archive of LGBT stories. And Alfredo did a really wonderful interview, episode 7. It's a great place to start if you check into the podcast after the festival.
Get yourselves on iTunes, get on all the platforms, go download it, rate it, tell her she's amazing. And sitting right next to Cerys, we have Anna.
Hi, my name's Anna Ploszajski. I'm a material scientist, and I got dragged into this about half an hour ago to fill in for someone else. So my qualifications to be here are that I applied to university to study physics and didn't get in, which is more than Cerys. So
I have a degree in maths.
okay,
So it's a kind of physics.
Yeah, it's better than physics.
Well,
I think most things are better than physics.
ooh.
I'm the
Wrong
baddie.
show,
Yeah,
Anna,
wrong
wrong show.
I'm the baddie of the panel. I have a podcast as well. It's called Real Talk. It's about materials and it's a pun on real talk. Hence the apostrophe. Not great, but having a visual pun for an audio medium podcast. I have to explain it every episode. But it does mean that we're at the top of every list because it starts with a punctuation mark. So check it out if you like materials and crafty things.
Alright.
So, the way we're going to do this is, first of all, we need, before our guests start, giving us some conversation starters and their knowledge, we've got to have some social lubrication here. And if you are under any illusions, this is a 16+ event. As we are drinking, there may also be some swears. In fact, it's guaranteed. So, brace yourselves. So, why don't we start with our first cocktail,
Yes.
Alfredo.
So who here brought alcohol with them? You were smart because
shocking
the more you
event.
drink, the funnier we are. So it's cocktail time. The first cocktail is called the H Alpha Martini. The name will become clear in a minute because, but mostly it's because I'm an astronomer and I'm pretentious. So, how does it work? It's a simple twist on a Vesper Martini. So you have your gin.
Best part about this is not making it and drinking.
Yeah, the best part is drinking the cocktail. You have your vodka,
Pea flower extract.
pea flower extract. Yes, you'll find out why in a second. I decided it's faster if I do 2 at a time.
I don't know if people at the back can see this, but there's like a pourer on the top of which some of the vodka is coming out, and then it's also not very well fitted, so there's like a significant amount of alcohol that's then pouring into the glass.
It's just gonna be
in the carefully measured units.
It's Alfredo's signature.
It's
flourish.
fine. Yes, it's
It's a
the
little
more.
sorbet, you
Is
know?
pea flower commonly used in cocktails?
Okay, I will explain afterwards why I have to come up with the pea flower, but
I mean, has anyone ever used pea flower extract in cooking before in any way?
you're
Okay.
all in
So
for a
it-
treat.
Okay, yeah. Well, okay, so it's a very different audience to what we were expecting there. We need a relatable ingredient that people understand. You can try it at home. Pea flower extract, you know, get it on every corner. Clearly, we misjudged that, but it's fine. Don't worry. You can Google it.
Hang on, where's the mixer?
Oh, there's no mixer. honey,
Right.
it's
This
martini.
is it's a martini. So
We drink this straight.
a classic restaurant martini. You have your gin of vodka and you have the lemon twist. There's gonna be a twist, but you'll see in a minute.
So, now.
Take it.
Oh, you can feel the suspense.
Do you know why martinis traditionally are shaken and not stirred? Does anyone want to hear a fun fact about martinis?
Tell us.
Yeah, so martinis made with cheap vodka means that likely your vodka is made from potatoes, and potato vodka is very oily, so you have to shake them in order to distribute that oil so it doesn't taste doesn't have a really horrible mouthfeel. So if you're asking for your martini to be shaken as opposed to stirred, it means that you think that the person is using a really cheap vodka. And you need it to feel better in your mouth. If it was a high-class vodka, you'd just be able to stir it. So James Bond, not attending very fancy establishments is what we learned from that.
So he's very fancy on the outside, but on the
Alright.
inside he's still total garbage.
He just doesn't want to pay a lot of money for his martinis.
Could I ask our wonderful guest to stand up?
Oh, we have to stand up.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's going to
Only a
get
little bit.
progressively difficult. Mouthfeel. How do we feel about the word
Can you-
mouthfeel, guys?
Can you all see the cocktails? Maybe if you can step a
If you
little
bring the
forward.
audience to the light, but not beyond the white line.
So, and now, if you can add the lemon juice to the cocktail.
Give it a swirl.
Oh.
It's going purple.
For those of you who weren't right
turned
here,
purple.
it's turned purple.
So, the reason why it's called, thank you, an H-alpha martini is
Very
because H-alpha is one of the way we can, is an emission line from hydrogen, and is the most common light in the universe, and is this lovely red color. So what happens is that we always think of the universe as dark or blue, but if you could actually see in the infrared, we would see that the sky, even at night, it's bright red, and that's H-alpha martini.
So the pea flower?
Oh, the pea flower is good. Yes,
Yeah.
the pea flower is the
We're all
only
here for the pea flower.
is like a universal indicator. So it tells the pH. So lemon is acidic and it changed color. I previously tried this with cabbage water.
I'm glad you went with the pea flower extract.
Yeah.
I spent one day trying to turn the cabbage water into a syrup, so that it wasn't that cabbagey. But the guests on that show, the Astroholic, were like, it's nice and it's a little bit veggie.
And in case anyone was in doubt how dedicated we are to the nerd aesthetic, cabbage syrup.
Sorry, so to make it less cabbagey, you condense the cabbage water down into a syrup
Yep.
in the hope that would make it less
Oh no, I kept adding like water and
sugar.
water and sugar and the
Okay.
cabbage water.
I see.
I wasn't just like, oh, let's make it concentrated. Okay, I'll make
Yes.
our cocktail.
So now that
and
our
we can start a
guests
conversation.
have their first martini, which is very celestial, inspired by the stars, one thing we like to do is we like to wonder, where would we go in space? In Europe, we have the European Space Agency, and America famously has NASA. But all of these are due to funding restrictions. The reason we've only literally sent robots into space and to Mars and to the moon since the days of Neil Armstrong. But if we did have an unlimited budget and we could go anywhere in the solar system, where would we go? So we asked our guests ahead of time to give us the name of their planet or other celestial body in the solar system where they'd like to go, and they're going to tell us why, and we're going to hope it's good.
Who's going to
So, first up, it's Cerys. Cerys, tell us.
I would take us to the moon's south pole because it's the coolest place in the solar system.
Come for the drinks, stay for the puns.
Yeah, that's what,
So you get a shot for a pun.
Oh yes, if you, we always encourage audience participation. It's a show that is on Twitter, so online, so we get people tweeting us stuff. If you do a really good pun, you get a shot.
of pea flower.
I don't think that was
Not
really
pea flower.
I'd like to take a shot of pea flower though to see what happens tomorrow.
I do.
Oh god.
Oh, I don't me. You'd be curious too.
It's for science.
Too much beetroot just to see what happens.
No.
Well, you should.
Let's go back on the South Pole of
Alright,
the
so
moon.
yeah, so I genuinely didn't have anything more on this other than it's the coolest place in the solar system, which is literally what I googled, came up with the moon South Pole. I did for GCSE astronomy back in the day when I did it. One piece of coursework was that you had to draw the moon every night for 1 month to record how its shape changed, and then write a little bit about the phases of the moon, that kind of thing. I forgot to do that, so I downloaded a program that simulates the moon, and then I got a back catalogue of the weather report of my area for the past month, which tells you the percentage of cloud cover that they had, and then I sort of like guessed the right amount of clouds to obscure the moon. And on particularly like bright nights where there was a lot of crater drawing that you had to do, lots of clouds obscuring the slightly harder bits. I also got a B in GCSE art, so it was really combining two of my weaker areas.
And
That's all I know about the moon.
And in forgetting to do that homework, you then did like twice the work by downloading the weather reports and everything.
It took me like a day, because once you draw the moon once, you can just like trace it for every other day, but you do a little bit less and then a little bit more.
I mean, that is a good thing about the moon. It's pretty much always a circle.
No, that's the thing that I learned from the course.
If I can interject,
See?
and cheers.
Oh, cheers.
There is actually good reason to pick the Moon South Pole. The Moon South Pole is full of caves, and there is one plan on a possible habitat on the moon to have an inflatable habitat staying in the caves that would be protected by radiation, and there's also water there.
So, yeah.
Is
Maybe
there plenty of moonshine there to make your cocktail?
That's what you bring.
Get
I
that
love it.
man a
Get this man
shot!
a shot.
Okay, gin or vodka?
Both.
Alright.
Mixed in the same one, yeah? Like mini martini.
Yeah.
Okay, a mini martini.
Give that
Coming
man
up.
some pea flower. Well, while Alfredo does that, thank you very much, sir. Our next choice is me. It's mine. I would love to go to Europa. Does anyone know what Europa is? Because it is not a planet.
It's moon.
Gesture, says Matthew, gesturing to the
Can
audience.
you pass
But
the-
thank you, Anna.
Thank
So
you.
yeah, Europa is a moon of one of our fabulous gas giants, and Europa is this fascinating moon because while the gas giants themselves, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune, they are not habitable because, as far as we know, they don't have a solid surface.
Oh, correct.
Woo! You see, I'm not actually an astronomer, believe it or not. I'm a biologist, so I'm the token here. So this amazing moon has these ice volcanoes, and I would love to go here simply because we wouldn't live on the surface. NASA actually wants to go there so that we can send this really cool exploratory submarine to drill through the ice and go into the oceans, because it has liquid water oceans underneath this icy surface marked with all these scars. And yeah, there's the possibility that there may be alien life out there. And also, why not relive your dreams of, like the Titanic. The beginning of the Titanic where you see them go underneath, you look at the wrecks, like, imagine that, but in space. So, that is my choice. The moon Europa. Next up, oh, that's just a second image, which I clearly forgot was on there. But yeah, which is a really nice artist rendition. There's also a really cool movie called The Europa Project. The last I checked, it was on Netflix. Go look it up. It was my inspiration for this. You can tell I didn't have to do much homework for that. So, Anna.
Right. So this is Mars. This is an artist's impression of Mars. And I would like to go to Mars because we've just found out that there is liquid water on Mars. I'm looking at this.
Yes,
yes.
all correct.
There's liquid water.
Pick her half an hour ago and she's so good.
Right.
I watched a great documentary where this guy grew potatoes on Mars.
I heard it was really
strange.
accurate.
One fan.
It was a little bit.
So I'm not so much going there for the potatoes, but I am going there for the swimming because I feel like, you know, it's one thing to swim
the channel.
the channel
Okay.
on.
Can we all take a moment to give applause to Anna because not
You don't
too
have
long
to
ago.
applaud it.
No, you have to because it's amazing. She swam the English Channel.
Thank you.
Now stop before I head gets to
Any possibility. Oh, Anna, what are you choosing for your planet? Oh, which one can I casually bring into conversation that time that I swam the planet?
Well, yeah. It also means that I get drunk very quickly now because I haven't drunk in a while. No. How cool would it be to not only swim on Earth but also swim on Mars? That's like the ultimate badass thing to do.
I know, right? It's like walking but in water.
Talking about walking water, if you had a swimming pool on the moon, you could run on the surface because
What?
gravity is so low.
So my understanding of liquid in space is that it doesn't do what it's supposed to do, and so it all like floats about the place and it goes really weird.
Yes, because it has surface tension and there's no gravity, so it will just like
It
stick
sticks
to
to
flat
itself.
surfaces. Yeah, sticks to itself, and then if there's a flat surface nearby, it will be like, and then we'll stick to the flat surface.
So when they send space shuttles and stuff up, that's got presumably like liquid fuel in it.
Yes, correct.
So how do they stop that from just sticking to the surfaces?
Well, I'm glad you asked. And so in the
So
60s, NASA developed something called ferrofluid, which is like magnetic liquid, and they added ferrofluid to their fuels, so they could then like move the fuel around using magnets instead of using like gravity, because obviously there's no gravity in space.
And now we have real-world applications of that in that you can find ferrofluids in magnetic toys for kids. Science really does translate into useful things.
Which
for
is
our
why you
lives.
can't eat those toys because they're actually very toxic.
It's not great.
Glad
So,
you're here for the health and safety.
Yeah.
so we're gonna go. Anna's gonna go swimming on Mars. But Alf,
So, I want to go on. Sorry, I'll move a little bit. I want to go on Venus. So I've become a little bit disillusioned with the big space era at the moment. I don't trust Musk or Bezos to actually bring us to Mars because they're not investing in new technology, just making big rockets.
you
So I'm
mean
thinking,
Elon Musk is not Mars King?
no, it's apparently doing acid in. Instead of doing something, it's on the news. I'm not just slandering.
I have a question. What would new technology look like?
No idea, but I am an astronomer.
Okay.
The idea is to go to Mars. It will take months. You're putting 6 to 12 people in. Months is the fastest. For a few years to go to furthest than any other human before. With you cannot do any kind of even simple. Even a deep cut in space could be life-threatening, and the only thing that they're pretty much planning is bigger rockets, which are not good because they're not getting that much faster, and we're literally waiting for the right position of Mars in comparison to the Earth. So I'm thinking, let's go to somewhere that is slightly easier to get to, and we can do cool stuff, like a cloud city on Venus. So, Venus is a toxic planet. The pressure on the...
I love it. Let's go to Venus. So it's toxic. You'll die, but it'll be
You'll
great.
die if you're on the surface. If you are out between 30 and 40 kilometers from the surface in this cloud city,
Easy.
you have a balmy 30 degrees temperature. You can get oxygen and carbon.
Balmy, 30 degrees.
I'm Italian. Balmy is 30 degrees. You're gonna be in the sort of British quarters.
Can I be like another 100 feet higher?
Okay.
Yeah.
But I feel that this is a colony on Venus. You really need a sort of democratization of space because it will have to be big to be sustainable, and you will need such a variety of roles that you're not just gonna have your scientists there to do the science. You will need a big team. You will have to prep lots of humans to go to space, and I think that is my goal, seeing as many people as possible get into space.
I think
Sorry.
if there's one thing we've learned, I think like gathering lots of humans together to do one sensible thing is never going to work.
No, but I'm an optimist.
I think it's ironic that you chose Venus, which is where women are from. So like, what is there for you on that planet?
This is why I'm staying 30 kilometers above the surface. No, Venus is cool. And keep drinking. We're almost on the second cocktails.
Well,
It is the second cocktail.
it is time for the second cocktail, but it's also time for you to win a cocktail. Now.
Does that mean that one of us doesn't get a cocktail?
No. There
No,
are
honey,
6
you
glasses.
get a cocktail, and you get a cocktail,
What?
and you get a cocktail. Well, no.
2 of you get,
If you
get
look
cocktails.
underneath your chairs.
Everyone has a. Sorry, I just love that you did.
There are no cocktails under your chairs. Seriously, we're not swimming in money to make cocktails for all of you.
So, the way this works is I get glitter all
Uh,
over everything from this beard.
Before the quiz, there is the recipe.
The recipe, yes. Well, Alfredo dear, is going to talk you through the recipe for the cocktail, which I understand doesn't contain the commonly available pea flower extract, so you might be able to recreate this at home easier, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm afraid for all you pea flower fans, but we'll do something slightly different.
So, let's get into that, and then I'll tell you the exciting bit of how you can get one.
Okay, the little green man. Okay, so this is a weird cocktail. I went with this liquor. See, do you think pea flower is weird to find? This is called Chartreuse. It's a French liquor done by monks, and only 2 monks at the same in existence. Well, one after the other know the recipe. So you have all these 2 old monks making the recipe. When one dies, the surviving monks pass the recipe on to somebody else.
What happens if they're both in a car crash?
I'm assuming that they're kept separate, like.
Okay.
But that's a really good question. So, I thought of monk liquor because monk and astronomy, they have a connection, a very recent connection. Anyone can tell me what beer and exoplanets, for a shot, have in common?
This is where we alienate the
Yeah,
entire
so-
audience because we realize they're not you, so they do not know.
Good, so I'm gonna have a shot. No,
We
it's,
had a guess.
no, it's. Have you heard of Trappist beer? Well, the original place where they do Trappist beer, they have a very powerful telescope, and they were able to find, at the time, the closest 7 exoplanets to Earth. They're only 40 light years away, they're not the closest anymore, but they're called Trappist 1, B, C, D, E, F, G, and H. And most of them are Earth size, so it was quite a big deal. And
I think that's quite a weak connection.
what?
That was like 3% at most.
I would say at least
It was a
10.
beer joke. That's what that was. It was a beer joke.
It's a monk joke.
The
Anyway,
more of this that I drink, the worse the joke's are gonna get. So enjoy
So those
them
of you
now.
who brought your drinks, drink up, and then you'll be on our level.
yes, so this is gonna be very much a herbal cocktail. You make a little crown of rosemary.
No, good thinking we have enough time to make this. The pun was there. It was just the delivery
you're-
that was really bad.
Yeah, you're not getting
A
it.
for effort. How would you rate that pun? Give me a cheer if you think that was a good one. I'd say that was completely mediocre.
And
Sorry, Karis,
then
no shot just yet.
Science!
Ooh, fire!
you
Fire
set it
me,
alight.
science.
Okay, hopefully that is not gonna burn anything.
Nicely done,
And
Mr.
then
System.
you mix. Where is my mixer? Oh, it's gonna be fine.
He says
I
that
guess.
pour more flammable liquids into it.
No.
Just don't worry. Anyone who does maybe win one of these, it will have to blow out the flame first. That is a given.
No.
right?
The flame will be. It's already out.
Okay, that's fine.
And so we have a shot of gin, and then I made lime juice. Lime juice. lime syrup, which is very nice.
So this only has 1.5 shots in it.
Huh? Yeah.
Okay.
This was pure alcohol plus pea flower extract. I'm going with something that is slightly simpler.
Are you thinking you wanted it to be more hardcore? You want the science to be so hardcore and so niche that no one gets it, and also be so drunk that no one understands you.
So, then you shake it and you strain it and you drink it. Matt, if you want to start with the quiz, because
Yes.
I'm gonna make the rest.
Well, while Alfredo continues to make his cocktails for us, this is the part where you can win one yourself, where we have a quiz. So I spoiled it already. You didn't see it. Now, the way this is going to work, okay, is that Cerys, they'll take one side of the stage and one half of the audience, and Anna will take this side of the audience.
Okay,
and
who
then,
wants to be on my team?
no, Cerys,
Yeah, so I get everyone and that person there. Everyone and that person, that's my team. Great.
Okay, because that is completely feasible, what we'll do is we'll split you right down the middle. So you there in the red t-shirt, yes, you'll be with Cerys. And the lady behind you, you'll be with Anna, okay? Split it like that.
Okay.
So, the idea is that we're going to put the questions up, and then they need to get your help by show of cheers or however they choose to elicit your responses. And then if you get the question right, you get to give a shot to the audience member, and whoever wins, okay, you receive a cocktail to give to an audience member of your choice. Decide how you will.
Okay.
Right. Are you ready? And you've got your thinking caps on, yes? Ladies and gentlemen who had drinks, have you downed them by now? Yes, fantastic. Okay, we're in focus. So, let me grab my little showmanship mic. Okay, first question of the quiz. Don't laugh at this persona, I worked hard on it. Yuri Gagarin was famously the first man and human in space. But who was the third woman in space? We have 1, Sally Ride. 2, Valentina Tereshkova. Or 3, Mae Jemison.
Who is this question for?
This is for you two.
Oh, this is...
You
Ask
are
the public
working
and
to
the
get
audience.
one of them drunk.
Right, okay.
But you can help us.
Valentina
Yes.
Tereshkova was the first woman in space. So not her. So we think it's... Wait, you're on Anna's team, so maybe that's
Exactly.
a trick.
Yeah.
Fraternizing with the enemy. Okay.
Sally rides.
Oh. Okay. Ask your teams here. Left side, give us a cheer if you think it's Sally. Give us a cheer if you think it's Mae Jemison. Okay, it's definitely Sally for Anna.
Yeah. Also, 2 of my team members explicitly said that.
Okay, well, like 4 of my team members explicitly said that. So this is how we're going to play this game. We're going to get Anna to give the answer every time. And unless we know for certain that the answer is something that Anna hasn't given us, we pick the same answer as them. So they will never advance in points over us. That's the strategy we're taking, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so they said Sally Ride, so we're saying Sally Ride.
Okay,
Yes, right,
and the answer is... It is indeed Sally Ride! Well done!
There's a lot of fire!
Ignore the fire! Ignore the
There's at
fire!
least 3 glasses full of fire.
Alfredo,
Oh, no, it's
Rosemary is on
5.
fire.
It's only
That's
5
the point.
glasses of fire, Karen. It smells great.
Well, fun fact, Sally Ride was not only the third woman in space, but she was also the first person that we know of, first LGBT person in space.
Woo, woo, woo.
Represent! So, that means at some point...
We both get a point.
Yeah, so you both get a point, 1-1. Now, question number
I'll
2.
keep score, it's okay.
The Voyager Golden Records are contained on the Voyager spacecraft, which is currently hurtling through interstellar space and is one of the only objects that we made that has left the solar system. It contains sounds, images intended to convey Earth's diversity of culture and people to an alien species that may find it. But which one of these things is not included on the Voyager records? The first, the recording of a person's brainwaves. Second, a photo of a nude man and a pregnant woman. Or the third, the sound of a kiss.
That is rank.
So I know that
What?
we want
That's like mouth noise. Who wants to hear that?
You don't want that like ASMR YouTube money, like all those.
Absolutely not.
No.
So I know that there is a drawing of a man and a woman, so there's a drawing of someone who it has male genitalia. They saw it. So I don't know whether or not that's what that nude man and pregnant woman is supposed supposed to know.
I don't think she's pregnant.
Yeah.
Is this turned into like a Jerry Springer? She's not pregnant. Do we? And here is the father now. No. So, do you want to gauge the opinions of your audiences?
Well, Cerys should say their answer first.
No.
Okay, Cerys' audience.
Okay, who here thinks that it's A? Who thinks that it's answer number 1? There is no recording of a person's brainwaves in space. Who here thinks that there's no photo of a nude man and pregnant woman? Who here thinks there's no sound of a kiss?
Oh, pretty unanimous.
You also voted for the second one, so how am I supposed to take anything you say seriously?
Also, I'm afraid we don't take hands up, we take cheers only. Thank you very much. So your
Unless
answers are not
you
counted.
feel more comfortable putting your hands up. Team member over here, I didn't take your vote. Which one do you think is not in there? Right, but who did you come with? Is this your mum? Because she was talking
There's
to
no
you.
fraternising.
I think she's trying to trick you.
No.
I think she's trying to trick you. I think we're gonna.
She didn't tell me. I swear she didn't tell me.
That is what someone who. That is what
Is that
Sai
what you
would
do when you're
say.
lying, or what you do when you're saying the truth? I can't remember.
I think we're gonna have to go with. Wait, could they measure brainwaves when this was done? When? When were brainwaves first measured? When?
It was sent. I think it was after. That's why I'm doing that one, because I think it was after. If it was after, they couldn't.
Oh, this is getting technical.
I think
Cerys, you need to choose an answer,
No,
please.
what we need is more time to confer. So we'll just wait for Anna to.
Oh, Cerys, I'm afraid I'm going to have to press you.
Okay. All right, we're gonna go with number 2. But you can say the answer for the next one. Number 2.
Okay, Anna. What are we going to go for? 2.
Do you like this, or like this, or like this?
Yes, in this dark room. Hold up.
Where the lights are shining in our eyes.
It's mostly 2s. I can see if.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
that's true.
it was,
It was
yes.
so gross.
Yes. Who is it?
Well,
For extra points.
okay, so what is our final answer, Team Anna?
I think number 2.
Yeah,
What do
2.
you think? Yeah, number 2.
Okay, well, we kept you in enough suspense all that time because you're all correct. While the voice records do actually contain the outline and silhouette, the very, very barely detailed silhouettes of a nude man and a woman with no genitalia, because people were that prudish back in the day. The photo of a nude man and pregnant woman was actually proposed for another spacecraft called the Pioneer.
No, it was
Just
actually
on the
made.
dashboard.
It's a plaque sent to aliens, and they were supposed to look pan-racial and exactly like every human, apart the woman has really fat, like Barbie.
Yes. Long story short, they did propose the photo of a nude man and pregnant woman, but the aliens would be grossed out by us, apparently. So, question 3. We all know the space shuttle. The iconic space shuttle program provided us a reusable space plane to ferry goods and people from Earth to the International Space Station. And that happened for over 30 years, but sadly that is no longer in action. But there is currently a space plane in use that we may not know about. So, which one of
If we
these?
don't know about it, then how do we know the answer?
I'll explain later.
This is why you have an audience to confer with, because maybe one of them knows there, and also maybe this was the hard question we threw in.
Okay.
So, now that the space shuttle has been retired, what is the space plane currently in use? Is it 1, the Boeing X-37B, 2, the Atlas V, or 3, the North American X-15? Go.
Okay, my team, keep your thoughts to yourself. Let's hear what they have to say.
Anna, all pressure is on you.
I think the Atlas V
Also, if
was...
we catch any of you on your phones in there, like, there's going to be trouble.
Yeah.
These are plastic, but I throw them real hard.
These are glass, are Italian crystals.
I will throw a glass at you.
The Atlas V was one of the original space shuttles, I think, that was in use, like, prior to retirement.
So you're erring towards...
Number 1.
Okay,
one.
is that your final answer, Team Anna?
Yes.
Okay, Team Cerys.
Okay, so who here has worked in the International Space Station? What insider knowledge can we draw upon? None of you! Why did you give me a team full of duds?
I'm afraid we didn't choose the team.
You got the answer wrong on the last one. Which one do you think it is? Which one do you think it is?
I thought that the North American one, but then when I think the North American one does sound good, but it does sound pretty big.
So a lot of deliberation.
Yeah. Okay,
can't-
so
you
we've
can't follow that logic.
so we've got a play for number 3. Does anyone else have any theories? Would anyone stake their life on an answer?
I think it's one.
You think it's 1?
Oh.
I think Atlas is a rocket. When I was a kid, they used to have this X-15 that was launched from a plane.
Yeah.
Okay.
Went up in a plane. Went
Oh,
up.
so we do have in a way first-hand experience.
Because I'm very old. I remember.
Is this you talking or the shop talking?
Out of SA.
Ah, okay. So we think we've got a confident number 1. Who hears? Oh, you had a hand up.
No, I was going to scratch my head.
Oh, okay.
That's a classic science move, that.
Okay, so we've got a sort of a heartfelt plea for number 3, not based on very much. One with a bit of an essay behind it. I think we should fall back on the giving the same answer as this team. How do we feel about that? So number 1, we're gonna go number 1.
Number 1. Okay. Well, you are both correct. So that means you're both 3 all. The Boeing X-37B is actually a really super cool, super top secret US military space plane.
This information doesn't leave this tent.
No, but it's hilarious. I write about the plane a lot, simply because it does stuff. People report about it, but we don't know anything about it. But it's in space, so people can track it. There's amateur tracking. It's pretty much as big as a truck. So if you have anything like a very simple station, you can track it. And obviously, the U.S. Air Force cannot keep it secret, but it can keep secret what they're doing with it.
Yeah, and this
Which
space
is
plane
handing out photos of naked people to aliens.
Yes, probably.
pushing the hippie agenda of the 70s.
Yeah. Anna, do you know any good facts about planes?
Okay,
You?
I'm
What an
so
interesting
glad that
segue.
you asked. Actually, interestingly, I did go. Has anyone visited the NASA Space Center Visitor Center? Yeah. Have you been to the space shuttle like extra bit of it? It's so cool. So they have like a retired space shuttle there, and I can't remember which one it is, but on the underside of it, it's completely black and it's covered with all these ceramic tiles, which are really like insulating, so you can come back to Earth and not fry. And you can see like there's kind of like striations and like you can see that the way that it's been burnt as it comes down into the Earth's atmosphere. It's really incredible.
Go to Florida.
So, now we have question 4. The 3 stars in Alpha Centauri and Bernard's star are the 4 closest stars to the Sun, being our star. Which one of these is the 5th closest star to the solar system? We have the very technically named Bear 217, Fox 103, or Wolf 359. I know what you're thinking. It's like I get it. Like I just get it. It's such a star
It's so
name.
obvious.
If I saw a star, I would call it Fox 103.
These sound like Grindr profile names.
Rude, probably scrap. But anyway, Alpha Centauri is where Proxima Centauri is, which is where the closest exoplanets are. Parenthesis. Please ask the audience for.
Right, Sun fans.
We went first last time.
Oh, competition.
Sun
I think you've already started. We'll let you finish.
Okay, I'm going to step in as
Quiz
moderator,
joke.
and it is only
Anyone
fair
quiz
that we
one?
take turns, Cerys. So I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask your team to go first.
But
I think it's Wolf 359.
we
That's
think
I listened to a podcast about.
number 3. The podcast never lies.
Okay, Cerys' team is coming with number 3, the Wolf
You better be
Star,
right.
with Podcast Man.
Right, anyone
Thank you.
listen to podcasts?
Anyone who's just a star fanatic, you know, loves a bit sun. No?
I think you need to bear with us. We're a bit
Oh.
find out the answer.
3 shots!
Give that one a shot.
Would you like a vodka or a gin?
Gin or vodka? Gin, please.
Gin. Well,
Can it have lime syrup?
Oh, she get fancy.
Yes, I can. You're lucky that I have a little bit.
Right, let's not let this distract us.
Okay, so Anna's team. Apart from great pun work on your team, do you have the knowledge?
Well, we could ask ourselves, what do we think the numbers mean?
So basically, so numbers are like units and they represent their amount of something. So
A mathematician talking. I cannot cross this line. Thank you.
Okay.
no, that is our rule. You don't get to copy it.
3, 3, 1, 3, 3.
What is your answer?
I think you should take the average of all of the scores that they give.
Well,
Okay,
we'll go for the wolf.
Wolf. Both of them have gone for Wolf 359, and are they correct? Mr. Podcaster, it goes to you.
We should have told them a way for them not to be right all the time and using the same answer. But we have a very interesting final question.
Yes, we do. I don't remember what it is, so it's going to be fun for me too. Black holes and Uranus are not the only innuendo-y names in astronomy.
Great.
Which of the following is not a real term in astronomy? Excuse me, this is a science show. Can I have straight faces, please?
There's no straight faces on the
On the
stage,
stage.
so why would there be any in the audience?
What, is it the glitter beard? Did it give me away? Right, we have, which one of these is not a real term? We
I
have,
get a shot for that pun.
Which shot would you like?
I would like. Is there any limes? Can I have gin and lemon?
Gin or lemon?
so,
Sorry, as you were.
for those who can't maybe see, which of these is not a real term? We have a wet merger, scandalous, stellar erector,
Ooh.
This is a really hard one.
I would like to
effective.
donate my shot to that person.
Right, it's a lime and a gin.
Please come up here and collect your shots. We cannot come off the stage. They keep us here at night. Okay, so it's either wet merger, still erector, or galactic bulge.
That really stands out.
Was that fun?
Oh,
I'm gonna give it.
If anything,
So-
he deserves one in retrospect for the
Yeah.
podcast
The
answer.
Yeah.
question
Like,
is, will he
Well
take
done.
it?
Vodka or gin?
That's
Vodka,
really
please.
good. No one heard it.
Alright.
we'll come back to that. Okay, Anna,
Okay,
Cerys,
what is the
Thank you very
answer?
you went first last time.
Anna went first last time because we're on. No, it's not on numbers. So it's
Yes.
Anna's go.
Okay,
Okay. Well, I think the galactic bulge is a thing because galaxies do bulge at the sides, don't they? So we reckon that's one. So stellar erector. What would a stellar erection look like?
I mean, I've seen a few in my time, but I'm not ready to say.
Possibly retracting solar panels,
Say that again.
possibly outfolding solar panels, the stellar erector.
Okay, something to do with solar panels.
Okay.
I like what you're thinking, taking a very serious logical route there.
And then the wet merger.
Hmm.
Bit of a damp squid.
Why don't you
What?
like workshop the puns with the person next to you? And then if they say that it's also good, then go for it. Maybe that's what we can.
I don't know what a wet merger would be. I
Use your
can't-
imagination.
I can't.
Don't Google it though.
I mean,
Or do whatever you're into.
If we,
Imagination.
yeah. If we end up on a tie, is there a tiebreaker?
This was the tiebreaker. So
Oh no, I have everything sorted, don't worry.
Okay. Is
Okay.
it a drinking
right,
competition?
I think we need to rush
No,
this
it's
along.
Okay. Number
Do
one.
you know why? Why do we think number one?
Sounds weird.
But this is science, it always sounds weird. That was my point. I think you're one. One.
You hear me loud and clear?
I'm gonna say one or yeah, okay.
You
I'll
say
go with
one
my
or two?
team. I'll go with my team.
You're going
I'll
to
say
go with one. Okay,
Yeah,
Team
the wet
Cerys.
merger.
Okay, what do we think? You think number two. Why do you think number two?
It just a stellar erector. It's the R at the end. Just
You've heard erection before.
But
Yeah.
I'm a bit dubious about the M in merger, to be honest. Okay, who here thinks that it's number one? And who here thinks it's number two?
Yay.
Who here thinks it's number three? Well, the rest of you do. voted. This is a team effort.
There is
Which
a
one-
cocktail on the line, might I
You think
add.
it's number 3? Okay. It's very difficult because I want to give you this, but I also disagree with every answer. So it's like, it's a difficult choice for me.
I can walk a lot. I'm
And you keep going on.
Cerys, if you don't go with this answer now,
Yeah,
you're going to be the worst person in the
Cerys, I'm
room.
going to have to press you.
We're gonna
We're gonna need
which
an
one
answer.
do you want?
I think it's 3.
You think it's 3?
Cerys?
Alright, we're gonna go with number 3.
Okay.
This is your choice, and we are fully behind you. Your team backs you, don't you? Don't you?
Okay, we've got a 3 and a 3.
No, and a 1.
Sorry. Okay, 3 and a 1. And the answer is.
I would like to say, I come up with this. I thought stellar erection was going to be more believable, and my husband like, no. They will know that it's fake if it's erection. When I put it on Twitter, everyone was guessing wet mergers or galactic bulge. Instead, I did a PhD on wet mergers and galactic bulges. Wet mergers is galaxy mergers that have a lot of gas. Don't ask me why they're called wet. I'm assuming it's astronomers in the 80s. I don't know. And galactic
I
bulge
mean, we'll
is
have
simply
questions
because
for what people would do in the
you
80s
were-
regardless.
absolutely correct with the bulge in the middle. You were absolutely correct with the erector.
Wait, so
Alright.
what is a stellar erector?
Nothing.
It doesn't
I made it up.
exist. That
Oh,
was
that's it.
the premise of the question.
So, but we have 2
tie.
cocktails to give away. So you can give 1 to each team members that
Okay.
you feel that.
This is
I'm
where you
gonna-
make
I'm
friends
gonna
and or enemies.
I'm gonna give my cocktail. I obviously can't give it to you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give my cocktail, but she's on the other team. I'm gonna give it to this wonderful person who was so confident that it was number 2, and I just ignored.
Don't cross
So
the line.
Pass it back.
Anna, who are you going to donate your cocktail
I'm
to
going to
in
give
the
it to
audience?
the person with the wonderful wings because we've been making eye contact and you've been giving me some wonderful answers.
Ladies and
You're
gentlemen,
very welcome.
That is
give our
you.
cocktail winners a round of applause.
Thank you very much for playing.
Thank you.
But who won? But that means that this is really nice. But how do we decide who won the quiz?
Fight later outside.
Yes, you can all come and see the fight later.
Yeah, I'll fight the channel swimmer. Thanks.
Well, so now that we've got that quiz out of the way and we're at least getting 2 of you somewhat more inebriated,
Yes.
we thought we'd finish off the conversation with following on from the first part. So we've said where we would like to go in the solar system, but what do we want to find when we get there? So we've asked our panel of guests, what fictional aliens from popular culture and movies would they like to encounter and why? So first up, oh, there's Alfredo's pun.
Come
Anyone
on,
get it?
have you watched Jurassic Park? Yeah, life finds a way. Life in space finds a way.
It might be your
Thank you.
intonation, I'm not sure. I mean,
Definitely getting funnier now you're telling everyone how it works.
So, first up is Cerys.
Yeah, I have nothing like funny. So this is Invader Zim. Yeah, and I only put it on because they're bringing out a movie. Did anyone watch Invader Zim?
So it
Yes.
appeals to a very niche generation in the audience.
But they're making an Invader Zim movie.
Did anyone else have a child in the 90s who watched Invader Zim, the early 2000s? No, of course not.
Okay.
Can you tell us a little bit about it for?
It's a very funny cartoon. I didn't think we were going to get this far in the show. It's a very funny cartoon about this very entrepreneurial alien who comes to Earth and then wants to invade the planet and has a lot of plans, some would say schemes. People are literally leaving at my choice.
They disagree so strongly with
Yeah,
that.
I just thought it was very funny, and I don't actually know very many aliens. So I didn't really have very much choice. I wanted to go with Wally. He's one of the greatest
Yeah, but he
characters
is.
ever created.
I mean, he is adorable, right?
But
I
he's
mean,
not an alien, he's a robot.
he is.
And from Earth.
Well, it's questionable as to whether or not he actually is from Earth, because he was made Whoa, well that was controversial.
Not even liking Wally.
It's made. I don't know whether or not he was actually made on Earth and then put in that space shuttle, but then because he's a robot, he doesn't have memories, or whether or not he was actually made in the space shuttle. That seems
You can also watch the movie and
Okay,
decide
yes,
for yourself.
alright.
That's the fun thing about
I mean,
movie
if I had
characters.
said that Eva, she maybe was an alien, because Wally never leaves Earth, so he's definitely not an alien.
I think
We have
I
no idea what you're talking about. We just have no idea.
out of
Thank
the
you
mouth
for saying
babes.
it. Right.
I
Okay.
feel like I gave you too much confidence by letting you choose the last answer.
Okay. So, Cerys would like to meet Invader Zim.
I would, yeah.
Let's
And
do-
then, like, large group over there are with me, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Such a large group.
They just want your drink, Cerys. Now, I would love to meet heptapods. Now, who here has seen the movie Arrival? Yes. Oh, see.
To be honest,
I
really
chose a
thought-
blockbuster film. You chose a niche '90s cartoon. Go figure.
I thought Matt's answer was going to be the niche one, so.
So, you might be thinking, Matt, why do you want to meet a heptapod?
Matt, why do you
Matt-
want to meet a heptapod?
Matt, what are heptapods?
Also
People
that.
we have seen Arrival.
Okay, that was
We
very
actually
simple.
have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, thank you for asking me that very jumbled massive words, but I would love to meet heptapods because if you think about all the space sci-fi movies we've seen, all the aliens are very human-like. And us as humans, when we try and think of things different and things that we haven't seen before, it's actually very hard. It's a biological thing. We can only take influence and ideas from things we've seen before. And so a lot of the aliens, I mean, you think of Star Wars, every kind of alien, no matter how weird their face looks, they walk on two legs, they have two eyes, a mouth and a nose in some manner. But I, as a biologist, would love to see what life is really like on another planet that involved without our involvement at all. And I think the heptapods from Arrival are amazing because they do not have an even number of limbs on each side. I mean, they got hepta means 5. They have 5 feet, and they're just giant blobby things.
Yeah,
Like
there's
a
6
six
in that.
hepta-
Seven.
Oh no,
heptapods.
you can see the shadow of the 7th one at the back there. Very unstable. Also, in
That's why I'm the biologist, because
Also,
fun
there's a
fact, you don't
head
need to
there.
calculate.
Yeah.
It looks like a human on
Yeah.
7 still.
And Sim isn't very humanoid because he's only 2-dimensional, so...
Alright.
Well, I'd like
Stop
to meet a
defending
real
Wow.
freaky alien that
That
blows my mind.
deserved, like, something.
Peethy.
Okay, I'd like to meet great smoky ink splurting aliens. I think it'd be fun. So who do we have next?
Anna.
Right, so as I said, I didn't know about this very recently. So I thought I could crowdsource my choice. So I'm opening it up to the floor for some good aliens, and I'm going to choose the one with the sexiest name.
Predator.
It's not very sexy, is it? It's
Also, sex predator. No. Let's think more on the legal side of things, shall we?
illegal.
Do you know more? SpongeBob.
SpongeBob,
Avatar.
Avatar.
Ooh.
I would
It gets sexy in Avatar, you know.
Yeah, Avatar's a good.
They get that ponytail action.
Yes, yes.
I'm not sure if anyone here has watched Final Space. It's really good.
Ooh.
What are the aliens
It's
called
really
in that?
funny. I'm not saying, but I just want to meet. There's a big wormhole in it that just shows up that they're going, but there's something really funny that happens right there. A worm comes out of it and just eats the space in. A wormhole.
So,
That is
space
very
worm. Space worm.
That is a good pun. So we'll find the creators of that film.
Smarty Bart first.
No, I've got the best alien. It's the Iron Giant. Still nothing. Did no one watch? Did anyone else consume any of the
Yeah,
media?
Iron Giant is
I've
amazing.
seen it.
Anna, who are you going to go for?
I'm going to go
Because
with Avatar because I remember feeling a bit turned on during the movie.
I mean, who hasn't had a dream about a sleek, very tall, ponytail, blue person? I mean, nothing says hypoxic blue like Avatar, I guess. Okay,
So,
Avatar.
now, to take it home, the best choice for alien.
And Cerys, this is the point where we tell you we actually briefed everyone in the audience to pretend like they didn't know
Yeah, to
anything
be honest,
that
we
you're
actually
talking about.
paid all of them to be here, otherwise they wouldn't be here. No, okay, why Stitch? My choice is Stitch because it's mirror to the human experience. Stitch is somebody that has been created to be evil, to destroy and everything, and learns to good, learns about family, learns about Hannah. It's for as much as I love Star Trek, for as much as I adore Doctor Who, Time Lords and most of the aliens in Star Trek, they are portrayed as gods, or at the very best as mirrors. Spock in the original Star Trek series is a mirror because he's supposed to represent science, his logic, his reason, it cannot be bent by emotion, I'm a robot. But instead Stitch is an alien who is human, he gets told that the only purpose that he has in life is to destroy, and that's not true. And this is why Stitch is the best.
Is that a very human experience?
Sorry, that is the plot of the Iron Giant.
Fine, Stitch is cuter.
Giant's really good.
And it's got
Thank
Elvis.
you.
I watched it at school and I had to.
Education. Education.
Stick that on the posters.
What's your name, young man?
See.
Sid,
Okay.
Cerys, I think you
We
need to
do
get
a double
together,
act, I
have some
think.
words. You've got a great friendship ahead of you here.
So, apart from all aliens, you can see that apart even arrival aliens, they're all based on stuff that we can recognize. What actually aliens are gonna be like, we have no clue. We are
They
more or
walk
less.
among us.
Huh? I'm glad you should bring the conspiracy theories to the Astroholic. That is you.
I'm just reassuring the aliens in the audience that we haven't blocked them. We're safe.
Yes, we are. If you're aliens, you can come and get a shot afterwards.
We're cool with you.
If you can metabolize alcohol, because maybe you don't. So, but it's complicated. We hope to find alien life. We talked about Mars a little bit. There is liquid water, but it's probably be very salty. It's a sort of brine. And pickles. I don't think pickles grow in brine.
But we could pickle things on Mars. Think about it.
Wow.
We'll be
Tweet Elon-
collecting investments at the end of the show.
Yeah,
Get
tweet
in
Elon
now.
Musk, get him to pickle
Pickles on Mars.
Pickle Mars.
Pickles on
You see, this is what happens when you just drink for the entire show. But no, we talked about Europa. There is a liquid ocean underneath. There's also the moon of Saturn, Enceladus. Not only we know there is a liquid ocean, we know there is complex chemistry and there is geothermal activity. We know there's interesting stuff. We just need, well, the big organization to go there and visit it.
Space Force.
Not Space Force. Definitely not Space Force. If you go on Twitter and we hear certain president of the United States saying Space Force, no, waste of money. What we need to do is send science and people out there.
Science Force.
Science Force. Science Force.
There we go.
Science force, science force, science
You see, better than
We're a
most people.
disruptive influence.
Sorry.
All right, I think.
Well, it basically wraps up our show.
Yes.
We hope we've given you an interesting whirlwind tour of maybe 3 facts and most of it watching us drink. So thank you so much for coming.
Does anyone have any questions?
Oh yes, we have time for questions. You have an astrophysicist, expert on dark web, a material scientist, and a biologist. Ask questions. We're just gonna keep drinking. Question. Like, I think the question's gonna be: is this
Yes.
over?
How much does Ancient Aliens annoy you?
So much you have no idea. I need to write pretty much about every week about aliens in Antarctica because there is somebody at home in America that has Google Earth, like nobody has ever had before. Google Earth, this technology, and then they just go and find mountains or hills or colonies of penguins. Once was a colony of penguins. Once was penguin poop. Penguins poop so much that you can see it from space, and it's like, it's clearly an alien landing strip. And I was like, first of all, if you know anything about rockets, you wouldn't land in Antarctica.
And you didn't leave with its penguin poop.
Let's assume that it's not penguin poop. Oh, please.
Crop circles, explain them.
1 second. Let's finish on penguin poop. Penguin poop is important. So, First of all, you don't land in Antarctica because it's much easier to get on a planet or off a planet at the equator. Antarctica is bad. That is just
Why?
It's not on the equator.
rotation of the Earth.
So it's going faster at the equator.
Yeah, so it's much easier to throw something off the planet at the equator. Right in Antarctica, who would go there?
Duh.
And then it's mostly ice and penguins. I adore penguin, but I wouldn't cross light years just to land next to penguins. Actually, next to penguins too.
What if they get lost?
The penguins or the
It's
aliens?
like, I don't know, for anyone else who's from Greenland, we were aiming for the orange entrance of the car parks, but we almost missed it, didn't we?
We
So
did.
maybe the same thing.
Also, the
It is
place.
the miss
Yeah, and the
the equator by 6,000 kilometers.
Yeah.
Maybe they got lost and so penguin poop and I thought, you know what? Landing straight.
Well, if you have any more questions about the conspiracy theories Alfredo gets emailed for his job, you can speak to him afterwards.
Yes.
But at your own risk, because that is your next 3 hours gone.
Yes,
So-
I will rant a lot, but I have alcohol, so we can. I rant, you just have to listen and drink.
Well, before we wrap it up, do we have any final pressing questions? No? Oh, crop circles! Okay,
Crop
so
circle.
your question is you want to know what Karis' question is.
Yeah.
Okay,
Crop
what was that
circle, very
question?
simple. It was actually proved. The two guys that were doing crop circle in England, they just admitted that they were doing it. And conspiracy theorists say, no, they're paid by the government to say that.
If you want to make your own crop circle, you get a large piece of wood and you tie 2 pieces of rope to either side so you can hold it. And you just step and you flatten it. Gently though, you don't want to break it because aliens wouldn't break wheat, okay? That's a thing. So, just gently step on the wheat and you go in a circle, boom, crop circle.
And it's very easy to make all the weird shape that seems so complicated. You just need to follow this mathematical formula. It's called the Fibonacci sequence, which goes 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21. Is literally you add the previous 2 numbers together, and that's how they do it. They just start with 1 meter circle, and a 1 meter circle, then a 2 meters, then a 3 meters, then a 5, then an 8, and suddenly you have this beautiful complex spirals, and people are like, it must be aliens. Humans cannot have thought something like this. Apart, it was discovered by an Italian in the 13th or 14th century. So, aliens.
And on that note, Mr. Italian, we thank you everyone.
Thank
for
you
coming
very
on to
much for
Astroholic.
Thank you, Alfredo. Thank
Thank you,
Cerys and Anna.
Have a Matt.
And Alfredo.
Have a great stretching time at 3 man.
Yes.